Like, I have no inclination to where they're at right now. It's like a nightmare that I just can't wake up from. Like, I want her back so bad. I want those kids back so bad.
Police in Colorado have issued an alert for a pregnant mother and her 2 young daughters.
Had nothing to do with the act of like evil cruelty.
So you obviously are a really bad liar.
He is the sloppiest killer I've ever seen.
It looks like he's trying to cover his tracks.
Every time I closed my eyes, I started to hear her say, "Daddy, no," and that was it.
To me, it's the ultimate betrayal.
This was the case that people wanted a punishment for.
You're not going to be safe in your own house with your own husband. Where are you safe?
God have mercy on his soul for betraying with those kids and his wife. I think death is even not good enough for him.
This is my flesh and blood. This is like what I wanted all my life. If he loved me, nothing made sense.
The first time I ever heard about Shanann, Chris, Bella, and Cece was actually when the missing persons report was issued by the police department.
The initial news coverage said that there was a missing wife and 2 children.
It stirred such a reaction in the community. There was a thirst and a curiosity for any and every detail.
This is a small town where this really doesn't happen all that often. We're drawn to say, what happened to these people? They just disappeared from thin air.
They were a happy Colorado regular family.
Shanann and Chris seem to be living the all-American family dream in Frederick, Colorado, which is the blue-collar town. The father who goes out, works in the oil field early in the morning, comes home to the loving wife and their 2 young daughters. It all kind of took a turn once you realized that their love story wasn't as beautiful and clear as what was painted originally on social media.
My friend sent me a friend suggestion for him. It was actually his cousin's wife, and I deleted it. I was like, I am not interested. I don't want to meet a guy. Bye-bye. So I deleted her friend's suggestion for him. 2 months later, I went through one of the, I would say, darkest times of my life. I was diagnosed with some health challenges, and then I met Chris. I met Chris because of those health challenges. I thought my life was crumbling underneath me and I didn't know which way to turn. I didn't have a lot of friends at the time because a lot of my friends, the friends I did have, I lost because they didn't understand that I looked perfectly fine and I felt horribly inside, horribly. I was like, oh, what the heck, I'm never gonna meet him. Except one thing led to another, and 8 years later, we have 2 kids, we live in Colorado, and he's the best thing that has ever happened to me.
I've known the family for 25 years. You know, I mean, when I first met him, he was really shy. He just kind of kept to himself. Was probably even a little girl scared, you know? Was more into school and sports. Wasn't really assertive. His personality was just very peaceful and calm and quiet. And Shanann was super outgoing. I think that opposites attracted.
I met Shanann as her 9th grade high school theater teacher. We also became really good friends over time. We've known each other for 20 years. Her empathy was through the roof. She was great in how she cared for other people. Everybody who worked with her, when they talked to her, knew that they were heard. And I think that was one of her superpowers.
I think that he really fell in love with her fast, and they both just connected. They were together for about a year before he proposed to her.
It was almost as if Chris was her saving grace.
He knew me at my worst, and he accepted me, and he stuck around because he was the one for me. And he is amazing. And I can't tell you how wonderful he is.
Chris and Shanann decide to uproot from North Carolina and move all the way west to the Rocky Mountains in Frederick, Colorado. And Chris started working for one of the largest oil employers.
They had their babies, Celeste and Bella.
I mean, I remember, you know, following on social media, seeing birth announcements. You know, you have Bella who looks and acts just like Chris. And you have Cece that is a spitting image of Shanann, the all-American little family.
My daddy is a hero. He helped me grow up strong. He helped me snuggle
We did it again. I like that shirt. So pink means...
That's just the test.
I know. It just says the pink is going to be girls.
I don't know. Just the test.
That's awesome.
They were finally able to have the baby boy that they had always wanted, and Shanann decides she wants to name him Nico.
Guess when you want to, it happens.
I always thought everything was great and fine and wonderful. Nobody was aware that there was any marital problems.
Shanann and Chris were putting off that they had it all together, but in reality, they had some financial struggles and ended up filing for bankruptcy.
It comes forth that, they had a court date where they were supposed to go and find out if they were going to be foreclosed on, I guess. That's going to be stressful for anyone.
Their financial situation was grim. They're around $70,000 in debt.
I think there was a lot of things going on behind closed doors, especially with her husband and the family dynamic that she just couldn't fix.
Chris and Shanann are already on rocky times. And then Chris enters one of his offices where he meets a woman named Nicole Kessinger.
Thank you so much for coming out here with me, Christopher. I'm having a wonderful time. You mean a lot to me.
I mean, it broke my heart for her when I found out, he was cheating on her.
There was another person in this story. There was a lover on the side.
A normal person would go out and get a divorce or even a separation. Well, Chris couldn't do that. He wanted a solution, and he wanted a quick solution.
He was having an affair because he didn't feel appreciated anymore. There's so many different dynamics going on here. Before you know it, perfect storm is created.
From that point forward, a bunch of balls started rolling in the wrong direction. He wanted to have a new life, and this new life would happen with his new mistress.
He thought that he could just start over.
If it weren't for him falling in love with his mistress, there's a good chance that Shanann, Bella, and Cece would still be here.